Yeah, this is we're live. So yeah, the video you watch, it was the Hall of Fame video.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to do that one. I wanted to do that one last week, but I just got busy with work. This thing camera, this camera covering up my face, and I just wanted it up before the actual Hall of Fame announcement. So I was able to do it after dropping off Bob and making sure the kids did what they were supposed to do in the morning because I had the card set up the day before. And yeah, I just went through my card, started talking my thoughts, and yeah, that was it. So I was super excited about yesterday. Glad that I got everything out the way. Got to watch the MLB Network and see all their documentaries and specials. So it was a good time.
Yeah. All last week I was at that groundskeepers convention that I've mentioned before. That was a lot of fun. Get out of the smoke for a while. Yeah, and then as soon as I came back, we went camping. So we were in Idlewild, almost right there by Palm Springs where the convention was, but we were at 6,000 feet elevation.
Oh,
And
oh,
it was cold, man. It was cold. It was freezing. It was like in the nighttime, it was like 28 degrees,
oof.
which is a little cold for me, man. But it was
Wow.
fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
It was a
that
nice
was
place.
pretty
Never
cool.
been there. Found that Mickey Mantle glove. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. So it's like a mental, like, what's the age on it? What do you think is the year?
Um, oh man, where is it? I don't know what the age is on it, but I mean it's a Mickey Mantle model.
Do you
So
know
it's
the
like
era?
something you would buy your kid to play Little League,
Yeah, the
and it
60s?
is written on like the guy whoever was Gary Mills.
What's up, Mills?
But yeah, it's a MM9. It has the Mickey Mantle Triple Crown, you know, thing in the middle. But yeah, you can tell it's super old. It's a tiny little glove, you know. But yeah, it's badass. Like when I seen it, what are the odds? You're in the 6,000 feet up in the tiny little town, and there's a little vintage store in there, and
I
found this. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy.
I love little antique mom and pop vintage stores, especially when they don't get a lot of foot traffic going through. Like I go to Georgia a lot, and I love making. I'm like, just one day, let's just hit the little antique spots because they'll have like five antique spots. I'm like, aside from hiking and camping and going to do this and the other, I'm like, we need one day just to go antiquing because I found some nice cards in those spots.
Yeah, man, I love it. There's a lot of antique stores and vintage stores in Arizona where the Dodgers had their spring training, where like almost everybody has their spring training. And I found the book, man, that I had when I was a little kid, and I was super, super, super excited about it. And I was like, I never thought I'd see this book again. It's called the baseball catalog, and that's where I learned a lot of stuff about old players, like the Gas House Gang, the Knot Hole, like you
Yeah,
learn about all. That's where I learned it from, because where else are you going to learn it from nowadays? It's stuff that's lost unless you come across it somehow.
bro. Every project I could do, like a research project when I was in like elementary, middle school, was like on a baseball player. It was like that's how I learned about Clemente. That's how I learned about Jackie Robinson, Babe Ruth. Like any excuse I could do because you're right. There was no internet. I had to go to the card catalog, look up the Dewey Decimal System or the Dewey Decimal System, and look up these players. And that's how I did all my projects. And I remember teachers like, "You're always picking baseball." I'm like, "Well, if you tell me not to, I won't do it. But until you tell me I can't do a research project on a baseball player, then I'm going to do another baseball player." So
Yeah, man. I mean, everything was through books back then. So, like, when I was a kid, I think a lot of people were surprised when, about how much I knew about old players. But, in 1984, when we were watching the World Series at my dad's friend's house, after he's the guy that gave me that Carl Yastrzemski rookie card, and he gave me like 2 boxes of books, and they were just all sporting news, all about records, the greatest players of all time. You know, so that's where I learned about Ernie Banks and Hank Aaron, you know, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays. Like, otherwise, how would I know about Roberto Clemente and them, you know? And so, yeah, man, those books, man, and I read all those books, man. That's one of those things is I pretty much taught myself to read like through that stuff because, you know, I said it before when I was a kid. I came straight from Mexico, and when I went to kindergarten, me and mom were speaking Spanish, and they put me in Spanish class. And it wasn't until almost to the end of the second grade where they found out I can speak English. One of my teachers heard me speaking English. She's like, "Oh, you know how to speak English?" And she's like, "Can you read it too?" I'm like, "Yeah." You know, and I told her all these books I was reading. She was like, "Wow, that's," you know, she was pretty amazed. It wasn't until the third grade where they put me into reading and speaking English classes. But I learned all that from books, like reading about Mickey Mantle, reading about. That's why one of my favorite players at first was Pete Rose, because I was reading all these record books, and at that time, he was just like breaking all these hit records. You know what I mean? So I learned about Pete Rose back in those days.
Yeah, my biggest source, you know, aside from the autobiographies, and they're always the big players, you know, Ruth, Jackie, Clemente. That's what I found in the schools. Was my grandpa's. I always talk to my grandfather, and he'll tell me, but it's always the Spanish. He's like, oh, once the Spanish players start playing, Mantle wasn't all that, and he's like, he was good, but you know, the Cepedas, the Manosos, the Clementes, they just took it to another level. And but he was a Mets fan for the longest time, so he liked Willie because you know Willie did join in what 73, so he enjoyed Willie Mays, and he said he was phenomenal, just phenomenal. It's sad that he I was only a senior in high school, so it was like 99, so I haven't had him for a long time, but he always enjoyed just listening to the radio. We'll go to the garage. I think that was his way of making me do chores because I would come over, you know, because he was older, so he was like, "Hey, I need to do the grass. I need you to help me fix the lawnmower. I need you to do this." But we'll listen in his garage to the little radio, and it was a good time. And then the thing that always killed me was, you know, I was 17, 16 in the garage, and then I'll mow this. You know, after he retired, he came down to Florida. He had like a nice quarter-acre lot. And after I finished mowing it, he'll give me 50 cents. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't need 50. What am I going to do with 50 cents? I can't even buy a pack of Top Stadium Club because Top Stadium Club was $1.50.
Yeah. Top Stadium Club was one of the premier cards after Upper Deck, or their answer to Upper Deck.
Bro, Upper Deck changed the game. Top Stadium Club, I love Top Stadium Club and Fleer Metal. When I was a kid, those were like my top two. Anytime I saw Fleer Metal, that was a game changer. And it was so hard to find because all my friends liked the Fleer Metal too. But Top Stadium Club with the Kodak paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another level. Man, this is $1.99, bro. Get 3 packs. I was done for the week.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Score first came out, and I thought that felt weird to me. The packaging was weird because I was like, really the first time where it wasn't wax paper, you know.
Now we got YouTube in the chat, bro. We got Mike Petty. We got Rick Vintage All Ball Cards. We got, I just saw Ruben Snyder, Coyote Gray Collectibles. We got some people in the chat. Hodges 1455, Everyday Collector Jason. But YouTube Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's going around now. So
yeah, I gotta get my votes in. I wasn't really I haven't been on YouTube for like the last week or two because I've been at the convention, camping, Disneyland. Went to Disneyland on Monday, man, the wind was crazy howling, man. I think that's why I got an asthma attack, man. I think I was just breathing in all that pollen and smoke.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the air quality is pretty bad over there, isn't it?
Yeah, not so much by my house because I live close to the mountains, and the mountains is kind of where it starts, like the wind going over the mountain pressure.
Uh-huh.
So I'm at the base, so it's kind of clean here. But where I work at USC in downtown, it's bad over there.
Yeah, bro. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine because once the winds take hold, like I don't. I'm not a firefighter by any means, but I work alongside a lot of firefighters, and that wind can just people don't realize how fast it will take um, fire. And I was reading something recently about Cali that it was 2 football fields a second that was burning. Two football
Yeah,
fields.
yeah. It's because the wind is pushing the embers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
So
it's
you can
so
have a fire here. The wind pushes the embers to another block, and then that block starts on fire.
you can't. My heart goes out to you and everyone out there, man. It's bananas. I couldn't even imagine. I mean, every place is funny because my daughter Bob, she's afraid of everything. She's a big chicken, and she heard about Cali because we got people out there and friends, and she's like, Dad, there's no place that's safe. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, Florida has hurricanes, California has fires and earthquakes, and she remembers her grandfather before he passed. He fell off a roof. He used to chase the tornadoes in what do they call it, Tornado Alley, because he was a roofer and he fell off the roof. And she's like Indiana and what's like Missouri, all those tornadoes. She's like this, and then she's talking about blizzards. I'm like, baby, it's just the way it is, you know. It's
Yeah,
she's like, I don't know where to go to move when I grow up. It's just one of those things. It's like you
yeah.
can't.
You can't live your life in fear. It's like one of those things I did see. I don't know if you guys seen G's Mikey video, and he kind of wants the downside. He doesn't want it. It's like it don't matter. You could sell your car to someone who's going to lose it in a hurricane. You could sell your car and lose it to someone that they're going to lose it to a tornado. It's like you just don't know, man. You can't live in fear, man.
That's what I'm
Like
trying
man, if my cards go in the end, I gotta. I mean, as much as it's been the biggest part of my life, really, like the most consistent thing in my life has been my hobby. I mean, shoot, if it goes, it goes. I mean, my and that's one of the things is like my wife did like ask me like, oh, so if because we had high wind advisories on Monday and it said like be careful for fires. My wife's like, okay, so what do I grab? I said, well, in this case, what you're gonna grab is this manual card right here, this base autograph team baseball right here, because that's what's worth the most money. Not because that's what I love the most, it's
to.
because we're gonna need money
It's the
if
most
if we lose
beneficial.
everything. You
The
know what
most
I mean? Like, hey, I'd rather have my Daryl Strawberry 83 tops. I'd rather have my 50s, but that's not gonna help us out if we're homeless. You know, that the 53 tops will help us out, so it's a mindset, that you got to be in.
Yeah, no, one hundred
But
percent. But after listening to G's Mikey's video, I have because I have it's not really a safe, but it's just a fire case for like important documents like my wedding certificate, my military paperwork, passports, all that stuff is in like my closet, but it's in a fireproof, waterproof case. And I'm thinking about getting one of those because I do rotate my cards. Some I rotate more than others because some I just like to look at. But I'm
yeah,
thinking about just getting a simple case because they have handles and those cases aren't too bad. They're like 40, $50.
yeah,
And that way I could just either throw them in there or just, like I said, when I rotate them in and out, I'll just have it in there. So that's one thing I thought about because you're right. You can't take everything, but if I am going to take something, it's going to be the ones that are going to be beneficial to my family. Because I do have insurance. Everything I have an umbrella coverage, so everything in my house, my collection is insured essentially. But yeah, the big dollar cards, my early Bowmans, those are the first things I will take. Not because, like you said, they're the most special to me, but you just got to think ahead. I mean, what's the most beneficial? Not my 73 Clemente, even though that's my favorite card in my
yeah,
collection. It's a $50 card. But Jake Carlin. I don't think I've had the pleasure of knowing you, but I'm glad we saved the afternoon. Yeah, Pepino called me up. He's like, "Hey, homie, what you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." I thought you were gonna ask me to be honestly. I thought you were gonna say me like, "Hey, bro, what you doing Sunday?" I was like, I'll actually be available. Oh, my boy Michael Ham. So I always love Michael Ham's videos. He's always telling me what's going on in my neck of the woods. A lot of card shows. Actually helping me find a certain card. What's Mike Petty saying? But bro, you know what? I saw your newest video. Just do a card. I sent out mail. I had a little mail today, or I've sent out some mail to some folks. I had some extra cards that will fit better in certain people's PCs. So I did that, came back, and I was gonna do a video on mail that I've received because I'm slacking on that. But I saw your card pile video. I was trying to think. That's why I have boxes over here. I was going to do like cards I don't show too much, like my basketball. Got a lot of basketball. Or I got a box actually of like non-Hall of Famers. Like the Sosas, the Bonds, Tommy John. I was going to do a pile of that because I love Hall of Famers, but a lot of people see those cards. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was planning on doing. So you hit me up.
Tommy John. Speaking of Tommy John, just because you were talking about Billy Wagner getting in, I've heard that argument a couple of years too before. Like Tommy John should be in the Hall of Fame just because the surgery is named after him. It's like, come on, is that why you get in the Hall of Fame?
Nah, he's got 288 wins. 288 wins. He's pretty close, but the significance, the guinea pig aspect. He was the guinea pig. I think that's added to it because if anything, if you just want to put him in for the surgery, I think you should put the doctor who did it into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right.
Not the person, but I think everyone knows what Tommy John is. Like my wife knows Tommy John's surgery, but she doesn't know the player. Like she doesn't know.
Yeah.
She doesn't know who he was. She just think if you ask her, she probably think the doctor's name was Tommy John because typically that's what it is.
Right. That's what you would think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an exciting time, man. Billy Wagner. I did that live a month ago with Baseball Collector, and man, I was getting ripped in the comments, bro. So I had to take a little step back, and I was like, let me just let this because I was starting to.
But see, I agree with you on the Billy Wagner, man. It's the thing too. Is like if he was in, he should have got in like a long time ago. You know what I mean? Because now his stats are getting really outdated because now the finishing guy is a thing now. Yeah. You could be back in those days. If a guy was throwing a no-hitter in the 8th inning, he was staying in. Now you could be throwing a no-hitter in the 9th inning, and they're going to bring in the reliever for the save. You know what I mean? It's a totally different world now. So there's way more opportunities to get 1,000 more saves than Billy Wagner had back then. So his records are going to get shattered. His saves are going to look like nothing in 10 years from now.
Yes and no. I think the cats who are established, like Jensen, Kimbrel, and you got the young cats like Class A. Who's the other young cat that's pretty good? Oh, Edwin Diaz. Those cats already carved out a niche. Like they're the guys of this generation, right? Because honestly, bro, and Chapman maybe could get in there. Chapman's been doing it a long time. It seems like he's holding on to, on different teams. He's with the Red Sox this year. But there's a lot of turnover if you think about it when it comes to closers.
Oh, they get traded a lot.
Oh my gosh, they trade them because people always want bullpen help. They always want arms, so they throw them in as like the cherry on top of trades. So, but there's a lot of turnover, man. I find that once you get that stud and he's the guy, I think it'll be a little bit easier or accessible to get those milestones like 450, even maybe 500. Even though no one's at 500 besides Mariano and Trevor, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like everyone now is talking about John Franco. Franco should be in the Hall of Fame. More wins, better playoff I think the same amount or more. He probably has more saves. Everyone has more saves than Billy Wagner. It seems like it's just one of those things, like the death of 1,000 paper cuts. Like Billy Wagner was nice, and then he got momentum, and then everyone kept on voting because everyone kept on arguing. Every year was an argument for Billy Wagner why he's getting votes, and people were just like, "Hey, this is his year. His last year on the ballot." Like it's blasphemy.
Yeah.
I
mean, one of the first,
and not Kurt Schilling.
Like one of the first big, finishers, relievers was Dennis Eckersley, and now, and at the time he was like one of the greatest, but the way baseball is going now, his numbers pale in comparison. Chillin?
Yeah, he should be in 3,000 strikes. He's in the 3,000 strikeout club.
Let me see if I can find a nice Chillin.
Not in the burrito.
I think I got a nice Kurt Chillin I can show real quick. Let me see if I can find it.
Dylan just woke up. He probably made beans for breakfast. He loves beans in the morning. That's too.
They still have Tommy John's elbow in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, I think so. Put that ligament in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And you know what, man? And then like the surgery itself seems to be way more advanced because now it makes players better than they were before they got hurt.
My boy Federico, he's my Instagram friend. Always sending me messages on Instagram. Double D. Yeah, I hope my boy coming to Earth. But yeah, man.
Where are you chilling?
There's no real, just a lazy afternoon. I work tomorrow. I'm gonna be busy this weekend, so it's nice to get on here with the homie. Make sure he was doing okay with all the craziness on the West Coast. The craziness. Dodgers. Speaking of craziness, still signing everybody, paying them but not paying them. They're signing all these people with IOUs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, where are we going to be 10 years from now when we're actually paying millions, instead of peanuts like right now?
I had a homeboy. He's like, he's doing this team is signing all these players with IOUs, and then they're going to sell the team. So
yeah, exactly.
The burden's going to be on the new
ownership.
Bro, there's $1 billion deferred. That's crazy, dude. But hey, it's not against the rules.
But see, that's the whole thing. Is it started with Ohtani, and people are saying like the reason that he did it is because to avoid paying all those high California taxes.
Oh yeah.
So he could play for 10 years, getting paid $2 million, and then when he's going to get a $50 million paycheck, he could move to Japan and not pay those crazy California taxes. But Gavin Newsom caught on to that and did like some bill where when you move out of California, somehow you still got to pay that California tax, which is like, is that even legal? Like, how is that right?
Only in Cali, homie. Ryder was pretty emotional making it on the 10th try. He looks and sounds like Tony. Beans are tier number 2 in any good burrito. Now we got
I can't find my Chillin.
What are you looking for? I got cards tier 2, bro.
I'm just looking for a Kurt Chillin that I have. Since you pulled out your Chillin.
My chitlins and hot sauce are pretty good. I got I was going to do the idea of your card pile. I had a whole bunch of Kmart cards because I love my Kmart cards. Had a stack ready to go. But I don't know. Just tell me if you look. Everyone's talking about after the big horses go because everyone's talking about CC. Let me take this off. CC, Scherzer.
Well, yeah, like the beer prices. The beer price. I heard someone talk about the beer prices. Like, say a tall can of Modelo at Dodger Stadium right now is $18 for a tall can. You can buy a tall can of Modelo at the liquor store for $3, but at the stadium it's 18, which is probably going to go up.
Hell yeah, it's going up. You're going to be paying $20.
But the people will pay for it.
Yeah, because you're all cash too. Oh no, it's cashless, isn't it?
Yeah, it's anything. You can pay cash. You can pay whatever. You can pay with EBT. It's more than likely it's going to be in another box.
I just keep on showing non-Hall of Famers, bro. Remember when this card during '98, the summer of
Yeah.
'98, bro? The summer of '98, this was the chase card. Man, can you imagine if the summer of '98 happened in today? This would be $1,000 card, Gen Man.
Yeah, for sure. More than that. And today's, oh man.
Bro, I mean, when the Trout, the 2011 update Trout, and a 10 was going like $3,500, and now you could get a PSA 9 for like 250, $300.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you know what? I mean, I hope he comes back because he's a generational talent. But bro, that card's gonna be $200 by the end of the year. I'll be able to find it for $200.
Yeah, Mike Trout is it's insane though, man. Like like Gunnar Henderson was going for crazy money a few months ago, and this market it's insane how the prices go up and down, up and down, up and down.
In the NFL, everything's pretty steady unless you're a quarterback. It seems like quarterbacks are the only thing that drives that market. I mean, you could get Justin unless it's like a downtown or kaboom. But
Kaboomy.
kaboom! Speaking of Mike Petty, my brother, Pepino Man 33, that's my brother. He's like, that Bud Light seltzer hat is a mortgage payment at Dodger Stadium. And that has priceless.
Okay, so Mike Petty and the Card Breakers said he's buying my ticket to go to the National.
Oh, that's dope. You go, so yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it this year, man. I'm bummed out. I might be able to make it next year. Yeah.
What's up with that?
Oh no, it sucks. But even if I change my mind, the only way I can do it is probably if I jump on with Rick. I think Rick has a hotel room, but yeah, bro. I mean, Baseball Collector came out like a month ago saying all the hotel rooms were sold out. So it's I'm gonna have to bunk with somebody. There's no Airbnb or anything like that. So I've never been to Chicago for that purpose. So I don't know the layout. Everyone says it's pretty good, but
Yeah, I've only been to the ones in Chicago a couple times. All the Nationals I've been to have been in Chicago, and everybody says that's the best one, but I'm not sure. I can't. I don't have a say if I haven't been to the other ones.
well, I mean, I guess it's the best one if you stay in hotels, because they're saying even
Yeah, because the hotels are all walking distance.
walking distance or they're connected, so you don't even have to go outside.
Well, it's like one of those things. Like I go to a bunch of groundskeepers conventions, and everybody rates it by how close are all the bars from the convention and the hotels. That's what everybody rates it by, like convenience. Not so much the facility.
Yeah, Orlando has a massive convention center for obvious reasons. It's Orlando, but they have like 2 or 3 hotels attached. I guess it's the same setup as Chicago. You don't even have to step outside. They just have like these little pedestrian bridges straight into the convention center. But,
And talking about Hall of Famers, would you kind of agree with the thing what everybody was saying was going to lower the standards of the Hall of Fame was Harold Baines
That's a dope auto.
and Relic.
I don't think he's lowering the standard. I think Billy Wagner, Joe Mauer, Edgar Martinez, those guys are lowering the bar, bro. Like, I get it because the worst phrase when I hear it is underrepresentation. That's what Chase Utley's getting 50% of the vote first time on the ballot. Like, no one was afraid of Chase Utley. He was nice. But Jimmy Rollins, Ryan Howard, those were the guys who drove that lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Second base is underrepresented. Let's look at Chase Utley. Bro, Chase Utley couldn't play Jimmy Rollins' position. That's why he played second base. But if you take Jimmy Rollins, I bet you could play a good second base. You know what I'm saying? It blows my mind. And that's how Edgar was the first DH that was nice. I'm not saying he was a scrub, but let's put Edgar in because he was the best DH. But bro, in 10 years, that DH position, I mean, look at Jordan Alvarez. He's been a DH his whole time up. He's gonna smash every David Ortiz's record.
Jordan Alvarez? You think he's that good?
Jordan Alvarez, bro, he's hitting in that bandbox. Hell yeah, dude.
Look at this.
Jordan
All right.
Alvarez.
I don't know if you can read it.
Oh, that's dope, bro.
These are his pants from the All-Star game.
Really?
And yeah, like when they played at Dodger Stadium, these are his pants from the All-Star game. Now remember when I got him, you know, he was in the Astros, I don't care. And I couldn't give them away. Like I made like a couple videos. Hey, anybody want these Jordan Alvarez All-Star pants? Nobody claimed them. So I was like, all right, they've been sitting on my sofa for years now.
Yeah, Jordan Alvarez is a beast. Was he Cuban? He's a big mother trucker, man.
I'd kick his ass. I'd kick his ass in a bar fight.
Mike Peggy was a gritty clubhouse guy with a little pop. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not saying he was a scrub, but he ain't no Hall of Famer.
No, but Utley is a baseball player. And I'll tell you something about Utley that all the guys in the grounds crew liked. There was a couple of guys in the grounds crew that were, you know, they were single and they were always on what is that on Tinder? Was it the one where you swipe?
Yeah, bro, I've been married 21 years.
So they would, when it was their turn to be in the dugout, they'd be in the tunnel, and every chance Chase Utley would get, he'd go through their Tinder and he would be like, love to swipe. Like, oh yeah, look, swipe right on this one.
Every city swiping.
Yeah.
Hey, my brother doesn't know, but man, you're a sniffer and you like to lick baseball cards. He loves to taste his baseball cards. He's like, those are millionaires' balls. That's a lot of money right there.
Yeah, you know what?
That feels like money.
I could be a sniffer or a motorboater. Motorboat those babies.
Motorboat. Oh, bro, you're making my face hurt. Oh man, I'm bummed out. So you are going to Chicago this year, dude? That's like a definite.
Yeah, it looks like it. Unless my wife says different, but more than likely, yeah, I wanna go to every national, man. It just sucks when I can't. But dude, I love the national, you know, because you know, I know a lot of people will say the very best thing about it is the people, which I agree. But I like to go for the cards that I don't see every day, the cards, and the people is automatic. I'm going to see everybody at night. You know what I mean?
For you, it's like, because you're still so old school, bro. Like, you don't buy cards unless they're in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, dude, I'll be in the dollar boxes all day. And, you know, I'll see like four-leaf cards. He's always there. Some dude, Scott Wallace, Big D. Like there's like a crowd of dollar card, you know, dwellers that I'm familiar with. Like I always see them there. I could be in those dollar boxes all day.
It's so hard though, man. Like these last couple of years, man, it's just you know me, bro. I collect everything, but to spend a day in the dollar box is difficult because I'm like, okay, there's someone sitting down, like they'll have chairs and just sit in front of the box. And I'll go and do a loop to come back. Same cats. It's just like 2-3 rows deep, man. It's like if you're not dropping elbows from the top rope,
yeah,
never get in there, dude. It's tough, man. That's why I'm just like, sometimes it's better like towards the end of the day if you get in those boxes, or like if you storm the gates in the beginning and get you to a good table.
Yeah, see that's where I'm lucky because I wake up for work naturally early. I wake up early. So I'd always go to the, you know, like we go out drinking. We'll be out drinking till like 1 a.m. And I'll be at the show already at 8 as soon as it opens. And everybody else is stumbling in later, like at 12. You know, it's like, how long you been here? I was like, I've been here since like 9 a.m. Like, how? Yeah. We were all out till like 2 a.m.
You need to come the next time the Misfits go out to a national. You got to stay with us, dude. We were drinking. Yo, I thought I could drink. doing the military thing, and I can hold my own. I was up there with Picker Jim, but Picker Jim was an animal, dude. Like till 4 o'clock in the morning, drinking Jack, and he was the first one up, screaming like, "You can sleep when you're dead. Let's go!" We were like, "What's wrong with you, bro?" Dylan hung out with us the first night, and then after that, he was hurting. He was hurting. Stay online, Dylan. Where you at? Where you at in the chat? He was hurting the rest of the week because it's the first time everyone's together.
Yeah.
But, like George, he's a professional. Before Picker Jim, I never drank with Picker Jim. I always drank with George, and George can hang. He's pretty good, and he's always one of the first ones up in the morning drinking coffee. And
Yeah.
Picker Jim, I don't think he went to sleep, bro. That cat was drinking Jack.
Yeah, I hung out with Picker Jim. I think on my second national. I didn't know who he was till the second day. I didn't know who he was. He was I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. But card hunter, Elite. He was with the Elite Card Hunters for like 2 days in a row. They were always together. We would go out and eat and drink. But it wasn't until the second day I was like, oh, that's Picker Jim. Like, I didn't know that. Because at first, Picker Jim, he didn't show his face in his videos.
Yeah. You just knew his voice. It's so distinct.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you from somewhere, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't until like the second day. I think it was Mike O. He's like, who is that guy? He sounds familiar. And then we were out to eat, and the Elite called him Jim. I was like, oh, that's Picker Jim. So I was like, oh, okay.
The drunker he gets, though, the more I understand him. Is that weird with that thick ass accent?
His accent goes away.
Yeah, man. At least it goes away from me. But yeah, he's good people, man. He has a crazy collection. I don't think people realize how good his collection is, man.
Oh no, yeah. He has some good stuff. That's what I always tell people is like, hey man, don't be afraid to show cards you already shown, because you were showing cards when you first started, when you had 50 views or 100 views, and now you're getting you have more followers. They didn't see your first videos. Don't be afraid to show those cards you showed at first.
Speaking of, bro, with Beltran getting in, man, this guy's a definite Hall of Famer. Altuve.
Yeah, he's got to get in. He's getting in for sure.
But bro, I mean, like, my argument was, I never said that Beltran was not Hall of Famer. The guy was ridiculous when he played. Boricua. But bro, the in the history of voting for the Hall of Fame, anyone, and they have shown, anyone who's messed with the integrity of the game, anyone who's messed with the fabric of baseball, Beltran admitted that he was a part of the cheating scandal. Like, they admitted to cheating.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that doesn't matter. Buster Posey's gonna get in. I always liked Buster Posey. People were like, but if Joe Mauer's in, this guy's definitely, especially with his playoff success. Like, how does he not get in, dude? Freddie's a beast, man. So underrated. Nestor Cortez is his biatch. Golly, Nestor Cortez and Freddie Freeman, man. That's gonna be in for me, dude. Ugh. I want to get his auto, honestly. I gotta find his auto. Yes,
man, yeah. Everybody at Dodger Stadium on the day of the parade, they got everybody on the grounds crew got his autograph, and he signed a sweet ass full name autograph for everybody. And I didn't even ask him. Sicko.
Yeah, dude. This one's a little bit better.
I gotta show mine.
Check it. This is my favorite Barry Bonds rookie, dude.
Yeah, it's one of mine too, man.
Mike Ham was asking when and how does Barry get in? I mean, if he gets in, it's because he was so, even with the cheating, he's so freaking elite. Like, he has the best 10 years of any player. Yeah, bro. This is my favorite one. It's just the blue, the yellow, everything works, dude. Great pose. I love it. I love showing non-Hall of Famers.
See, man, I can see your card 100 times better than mine. That's why I hate slabs and has all that glare. Oh yeah, multiples, huh?
Bro, yeah, I mean, value boxes, homie. Well, one I bought when I was in college. I think I bought this one. It's real OC. I bought this one in college, and this one I found recently in a value. I say value box, but I got it for like $5 maybe.
See, like I grew up, not grew up, but yeah, I guess grew up not kind of not having the highest opinion of Barry Bonds. This is before steroids. I think he was on the Pirates still, but in high school, my high school coach, he made a point because there was a play. I don't know if it was the playoffs or something where Barry Bonds didn't hit the cutoff man, and the run scored and they lost. So he used to always use Barry Bonds as an example. This is a selfish guy who thought he could throw the guy at home. He should have hit the cutoff man. Don't be like Barry Bonds.
Well, people started hating Barry Bonds when he started doing, making himself special, like having his own seat in the clubhouse and no one sits in the seat, like separating
Yeah.
himself, isolating himself, though.
Well,
Like,
even when I first started working at Dodger Stadium, and we're gonna play the Giants, I couldn't wait to see Barry Bonds, like in the but he would take a private batting practice and he wouldn't shag balls like the rest of the team had to, like so he would never be out there. I was like, oh man, where is he? Ah, come on! I was like, this is bullshit. He thinks he's that good. He can't shag balls.
yeah, almost too good to be like. It's a waste of time.
Well, I don't know if you know, but he had his own like recliner that he traveled with. So the clubhouse guys used to always complain, like, yeah, we always got to carry in his fucking recliner. Like they have to carry it to the clubhouse and bring it in for him. He had his own that he traveled with.
Oh, I didn't. I thought it was just a recliner for the home.
No, he traveled with it everywhere he went. So the guys would have to carry it. You know what I mean? To the plane, to the bus, or whatever.
Yeah, Bonds was just. I mean, I don't know. I guess he grew up
in a way I understood, right? When you're greatness, you can demand those kind of things, but it is kind of like bougie when you do.
Yeah. Speaking of, show all your non-Hall of Famers, bro. Here's Bill Murphy. I was going.
You have two of them, right? Dale Murphy has two of those cards.
Yeah, I believe so, but I think this is the one. I think this is the one that they consider his rookie. Let's see. I think I have both of them. Here's Fred Lynn. People love Fred Lynn.
Yeah, Fred Lynn, USC alumni.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just love Bobby.
What about Johnny Damon, the sellout from the Red Sox who went to the Yankees? Said he would never be a Yankee.
You can't beat them, join them, homie. That's a nice one, dude. That was that 93 SP. You got that?
Yeah, and it's autographed.
That's sick. Sick-o. Sweet Lou, baby.
Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, he won't be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. How come he didn't throw it at first base? How come first base wasn't covered?
Oh, no, bro. Why are you bringing up old shit?
Jake Arrieta? What is that, Dwight Gooden?
Oh, Dad didn't know. You hear Mark Hoyle, The Impossible Dream. Love his channel. Fred Lynn and Lynn Swan were roommates at USC. How cool is that?
Like, Lynn Swan, he was my boss for a little while, at least.
What was he? The athletic director or something?
Yeah, that's me.
Bobby Richardson is great too. Yeah, he was real nice, man.
Yogi Berra.
He's a Hall of Famer though. You're breaking the rules. We're showing non-Hall of Famers, bro.
Like, we're showing non-Hall of Famers?
Everyone sees Hall of Famers. How about this Elston
Troy Tulowitzki.
Ooh, Troy. People love Troy. He had a good 2-3 years. But how about the first Black AL MVP, Elston Howard? Not a Hall of Famer. There's a 63. Yeah, it's easy to show Hall of Famers, bro.
Got Roberto Alomar autograph.
Roberto, that's sick. I need to get a Robbie Alomar. There's a nice Thurman.
Luis Gonzalez autograph.
Oh, get that mother trucker. Why are you bringing up stuff? Luis Gonzalez, man, that little
But when he
squid.
hit that sweet ass home run, a little bloop single against you guys.
Yeah. I still remember. My chest hurts now. I'm older now. It's like, oh, my chest hurts when I think about it. Freaking Luis Gonzalez.
Yeah, and then that grounds, like when he hit that home run, he spit his gum out, and that groundskeeper picked up his gum and he sold it for like 5 G's or something.
I remember. Was it that much?
Yeah, for at that time it was a lot of money.
Yeah. This is Elston Howard with the Red Sox. I don't show this one too much because it's on the wrong team.
There's a final strikeout.
Bro, you're killing me. You're freaking killing me. I'm trying to show you. Here's a Wheaties, 64 Wheaties of Bobby.
Oh, nice.
I gotta get the Clemente. I don't have the Clemente 64 Wheaties. I got the Bobby.
This is one of my favorite autographs, not sport. Norm from Cheers.
Well, everybody knows your name. I got that Louis Car, Steve Garvey, Louis Taint. I can't say it any other way. Have you noticed a lot of people on YouTube have been saying Louis Taint? After Jeff Wilson said it, I think like Junk Wax started saying it, and Eddie Cardboard Chaos says it just as a joke. Oh, no pinstripe.
Gary Sheffield.
Oh, Jay Filon. You don't see too many Rockaroo collections. You need to check out my homie George Diamond Yard. That was his favorite player. Ridiculous Rockaroo collection. Ridiculous. I got his rookie. But we're showing non-Hall of Famers.
Yeah, Rockaroo was one of my favorite players as a kid because he was on the Angels when I was a kid and we used to go watch him.
Yeah, I got him some. You gotta have Rockaroo. Rockaroo's just a beast. I don't think I have it though. Oh, I don't know why this card is in
What
there.
about Polly? There's something about Polly.
Hey, bro, for you, I don't know why I have these mantles in my box, but they were checked as a kid. You got all the.
Because they're awesome. That's why. Floating heads forever.
Wow. But yeah, man. Oh, here's a nice little 86 Clemens, the Rocket. Another legend.
That's a sweet card. Oh, I gotta show mine then if you're pulling yours out.
Oh, 85. Bro, I remember those. Every time you pull those out, it's like Ratatouille. I start reminiscing because you'll go to the mall back in the like 80s and 90s, and they used to sell those plaques with a card for $5.
Yeah, that's how I got those, man. Carlos Beltran, little pinstripe there.
They still make them, bro. I saw this in a yard sale. I had to get it. It was like a buck. like they still make these little plaques. John Carlos. But I was like, I'll get it. Bring back memories.
I love them, dude. I used to have them all over my room. I have one hanging in my room, which is this.
You got a couple.
My Sandy Koufax one, because this is the first Sandy Koufax that I ever bought, but
that's sick.
These are like awesome back in the day. They're a little bit outdated now.
I don't know why I got this is my non-Hall of Fame box. I must have been sleepy. I got Willie Mays in my non-Hall of Fame box. Little scoops, baseball scoops.
Little George Bell.
Ooh, that's a nice one. What is that? Archives?
Yeah, it's autographed the archives.
Here's another non-Hall of Famer, 82 or 83 Donruss, Pete Rose with Philly.
What do you mean? He's not in the Hall?
No. You think they'll put him in like 5 years from now? While he's
I think they will, but it's stupid if they do now. They should have done it. Should have been done already.
No, I think they did it just to spite him. Like, I think they were waiting for him to die. Honestly,
It's like of all the places for them to keep their integrity. You know what I mean?
I know, dude. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. The Hit King is not in the Hall of Fame. Ooh, this guy just came off the ballot. 10 years, not enough. Manny Ramirez. Talk about not hitting the cutoff, man. He made himself the cutoff, man. In the outfield.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, he dove for that ball.
Bro, the most effort he has ever shown on a play. The most effort, the stretch was.
Yeah, he was like 20 feet from him.
But you had to appreciate the effort, bro. The one time.
Man. I like the Scott Rowland card with the seat. Pull the seat down.
Oh, bro, that's sick. I'm glad you showed that because I just got one gifted to me, Tito Martinez, but I wouldn't dare open it. It's a cheap seats, right? The EX.
Yeah, cheap seats treats.
Yeah, bro, that's sick. As you would say, sicko.
Enfermo, homie, sicko. The only thing I hate is like every time I put it in the penny sleeve, I keep messing up these parts of the benches because it's a die cut. But what are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? I always gotta put it aside and put it away later more carefully.
Yeah, I mean the way they're allowing Beltran, Jose Altuve, all those guys involved, Pete Rose will eventually get in.
Yeah, it's just like everything else. It's going down. They're relaxing, and they should have relaxed on Pete Rose a while ago. They're gonna relax on all these other guys. Same thing. Like Bonds is gonna get in eventually. I think no matter they will.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's like they say, how are you gonna keep the hit king, the home run king out? You know.
I know you got. I got some, but I don't know where they are. They're not accessible. Those collector books. I used to love the football ones, man. I had Refrigerator Perry. What else I had? I have a Clemente somewhere real close. I would love to go to Strongsville, but it's like the weekend of my birthday, and my wife has something else planned, so can't do that. I'm trying to go to a Dallas card show, honestly. What you looking for, bro? Want me to show cards? I was gonna show basketball, but I might lose people in this in this crowd. Basketball. Oh, James Elite Hunters. I don't know about that. Shoeless Joe should be in before them. Very, very true, my friend. Very true. That's guilt by association. I got the Griffey Collector book.
Yeah, I know. I have all those boxes of collector books now. I know I had them on my shelf. I can't see them.
I got good. I was thinking because there's a Rangers game. Let me see. I was texting baseball collector because we might go to the ranch. Monahan. We were looking at good 10-4. First week in May. The first week of May, I think, is Dallas Card Show. Plus, the Rangers are in town. So I think that's what we were looking at, but it's not a done deal because we're waiting for Bob's soccer tournament schedule, and my oldest daughter, she's got a couple solos for dance. So, but first weekend of May is what we were looking at. Dallas Card Show. Possible. No, we didn't do a bet. Thank goodness. I was feeling so good too. I would have bet like a baseball card. If James,
I wouldn't have bet, man, because I knew we were gonna win it. I knew it. I knew it.
Hey, put up $100 card. I'll be like, okay, let's go. Might as
I
well
would
just
have
say
done it. I'm not a betting man, but that wasn't even a bet. That's for sure. That was for show.
my shout.
You know what, man? And I don't get like why Yankees fans try to blame it on those errors. That was game 5. That was game 5. Those errors didn't win the World Series. It was the whole series that we won it with.
Whatever, bro.
You know what though?
First thing,
I don't know if you guys watched if those clips used to come out on your social media. But
uh,
all those clips from that one bar, is it Billy's bar or whatever in New York? They always come up like, the fans being all excited and they're like, oh, like
this sucks, dude. It sucks so bad. Like, I knew we were in trouble. I was like, why the hell is Mr. Cortez? And he hasn't pitched in a month. And that's all she wrote. First pitch.
that's what happens when you have a great mustache. They just think the mustache is going to win it.
It was not distracting. Nah, hey, I won't make Strongsville either. Definitely doing Chicago, though. Yeah. May is too close to Strongsville. I want to go. When's Strongsville? Is that something I could do? When is Strongsville? Let me go. When is Strongsville? I know Rick can't go to Strongsville. We talked about it. Rick is what Rick say? Rick is gonna be boosting it up. I think he's going to Italy. April 10th. Ooh.
Italy, damn.
My birthday is April 14th. That'd be kind of cool. Any case, I might have a personal shopper. I need someone to help me pick up a big boy card. The wife gave me the green light. So trying to find the right one. That's the thing, man. Sometimes I just don't have the patience. Just like I just want to buy a baseball card, dude. It is like I admire people who are like they won't buy a car for 6 months, save up all their money.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Big card. Like me, I'll make a budget, like, okay, when I go to the national, I'll be like, okay, this is how much I got. No saving up because this is what I'll have I love getting a bonus or overtime, like unexpected money. Then I would just add that to my budget. Like you said, the best thing, I don't know, a couple months ago, where you were like, I would rather have 100 little things that make me happy than one big thing. I'm like, that makes so much sense.
Well, yeah, like imagine, like I have this card room. What do I rather have? Like one little stand in the middle with 152 mano, or do I want this? I want this, and I can't give it away. It's like you can't replace. It's like I don't know, man. I can't do that. There's no way. There's just no way. I mean, I would love to have that 52. It's like a dream, but I can't sacrifice a lifetime for a dream.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I like getting the nice big auto or rookie card, but that's like by chance. Like if I go to like a national or Christmas or anniversary where I know the budget gets expanded, then that's when I get my big cards. But aside from that, throughout the year, I'm getting $20 autos, $40 autos, $50 rookie cards. That makes me happy. I just like getting it's like Amazon coming to the front door. I just like getting packages. I'm like, oh shoot, bro, I got what did I get? Dude, my wife was like, you got another card? And I was like, so I was looking into the Billy Wagner numbers, which are still trash. And I was like, bro, Kenley Jensen is going to surpass this cat. So I started looking up Kenley Jensen. $1 for the card, $1 shipping. And when I got it, you thought it was $100 card. I was like, yes, I got this thing for $2. Came in, nicely centered, looks good. My wife is like, you need to buy more cards like that. Like, how much was that? I'm like, $2, man. Shit.
Like my wife, she don't understand. It's like because I bought this one right here at a vintage shop that we go to all the time, and this was right after we won the World Series. So like right after we won the World Series, we're at this vintage shop, and the card itself was still like $10, $15. because it wasn't repriced yet to the after the World Series price. You know what I mean? So she's like, oh, like, and so I looked it up, like I wasn't sure, and I told her, I go, I'm sure that card is worth more than $15. Looked it up, and I was like, oh, it's going for like 60 or whatever. And I bought it, and she's like, why don't you always buy cars like that? That doesn't always happen. You know what I mean? It only happens in places like this, at a flea market or vintage. But a car dealer, oh, he's not selling this for $10.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I love going to the flea markets, the yard sales, value boxes. If I find a diamond in the rough, bro, I don't stop after I find that big card. I was thinking about doing uh, a video on all my biggest finds, like all my biggest things, because there's a technique, there's a way to do it. I like my favorite technique when I'm value boxing is overwhelm them with cardboard, just so much cardboard. So, for instance, if I find a $50 card in the dollar boxes, I'm like, oh snap! I can't just stop there, because if I go there with 5 cards, homeboy's gonna look up every card. Homeboy's gonna be like, ooh, that's a good one. But if you give him 50 cards, and he's like, okay, that's a good one. That one sucks. Like, I'll throw in like Bernie Williams. I love Bernie Williams. He was my guy. Love Bernie. Grew up with Bernie. He was the center fielder of my Yankees growing up. But they'll see a couple Bernie Williams and like quarter. Oh, just a dollar card. So the card that would have appeared to be good, they're just like, oh, this guy's just picking up stuff random. They want to look up, and then I go home and do a video like, found this card for $50 or $1 or whatever. So I think that's what I'm going to do next week. I'm going to be so busy this weekend. Hey, Fisher Bike. Jason,
what's up, fish?
I don't fleece blind dealers. Look, if you're a dealer, like, if it was a kid, that's one thing. But if you're a grown man and this is your business and you're at a card shop or a card show, it's not my job to tell you how to sell your cards. It's not. If you can't put the time and effort to price your cards correctly, you just have value boxes. Like, hey, and you know what? Like your story of right before COVID, that was another idea I had. Like, life before COVID, I was looking at some of those videos. Oh man, I found some fire too, and the prices were night and day. I think that'd be interesting. Maybe we could do a live stream on that, like before COVID, how life was. Because some of these cats in the hobby now, bro, they don't know any other way. It's normal to have a $400 hobby box of Topps Series 1 with a possible relic. You know what I'm saying? I have pictures of my Christmas of 2019. I switched it up. I wanted to open wax. I was like, I got a link to like Blowout. I'm like, you know what? It'd be fun to just open packs for Christmas. So I didn't buy a big rookie card. I didn't do that. I bought 2017 Chrome, 2018 Chrome, 2019 Chrome, 2017 Stadium Club, because those were all the hot rookies. Judge, Soto, Ohtani, Gleyber Torres, and I bought something else. I bought 5 hobby boxes, bro, for like $250 on Blowout, dude. Maybe $300. Shit, but that was the time. And now you can't get big league hobby box for $100.
Yeah, man, it's totally different. Like, even on that video yesterday, my little card pile, I showed a couple of hits, but those are all pre-COVID. Some, not major hits, but nice shiny cards. It's like, and those are all retail packs. It's like, after COVID or the last couple of years, I buy a ton of retail. I haven't gotten a good hit in forever. When back in 2018, 17, I was getting redemptions for Aaron Judge autograph cards. I was getting redemptions for Bryce Harper autograph cards. Well, bro, that hasn't happened for me in 4 years now. When before it was possible out of Kmart and Walmart card.
Yes, bro. Like some of my biggest hits was just like the $13 blaster box from Target. Like I used to watch your channel before I became a YouTube superstar when I was just watching as a lurker. And like,
Before you started competing with me for the handsomest YouTuber,
bro, we should be a tag team, like wrestling tag team, Latino Heat.
like, dude, like honestly, like that, that's one of the things I like, Blue Jacket 66, like he sent me a care package and he's giving me at the National like hundreds of dollars worth of free cards. You know what I mean? And it's like, how do I repay this guy?
Yeah.
How do I repay him? And I had a card from I had a rookie, shiny, like I forgot what it's called, that I look back onto from football, Patrick Mahomes, that I took to the National. I had no idea what it was worth. And then everybody started telling me like, whoa, that's like a $300 card. It's like, I got it out of a $2 pack from Target. So I was like, people, and then Blue Jacket like text me. He's like, hey, I'll give you so much more for that card. I was like, dude, you sent me so much here. It's yours for free. I got to repay him. You know what I mean? I got to give him something that was worth hundreds of dollars, but it only cost me $2. And that's the way I see it. Yeah, like I don't see it as I'm giving them $400. I see it as I'm giving them $200. You know what I mean? And like that's what's crazy about the hobby, man. Like that's awesome how it works out that way.
Sometimes it sucks having friends with such great collections. Like, what do I get? Like,
yeah, what do you get them? I don't have any.
Mancini. There's nothing I could get Rick. The guy has the top 20 of Babe Ruths in his house. He doesn't even go to the damn to the bank, bro. Like, what can I get him? I just wish him Merry Christmas. I love you guys. It's the thought that counts. Like, what am I gonna get those cats? But like, I used to watch your channel when I was a lurker, bro. And I'm like, how does this guy on Cali? That's why I thought there was like a conspiracy. You used to get Aaron Judge, it seemed. You got Aaron Judge,
yeah,
and Topps Gold Label was like your jam. Like you used to rip Gold Label like it was going out of style. And that Bryce Harper, like 3 of 3, the Judge Judy you gave away to somebody or trade, I can't remember, but
no, I gave it to Yankees something. I forgot his.
Was it Jerome?
Name. Jerome.
Yeah, Jerome. He needs to come back, man. He was cool. He was the arm wrestling champ of YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what happened to him. He probably got locked up. Like, Jerome, if you're hearing this.
Nah, he's cool. I talk to him every once in a great while. I'll send him messages on Facebook. He's doing good. He's doing all right.
Bro, best Yankee collection on YouTube, man. His mom used to hook him up with some dope cards. What was his goal? You know how Mangini wants one card of every set? He wanted he wanted a card of every Yankee player to ever put on.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Dang.
And he was almost there. But did you see how Mike Petty wanted to ask our opinion of that little kid? Okay, that kid was like 11 years old. He did not buy that $700 hobby box. You know what I mean?
That got it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there was 2 things. I'm glad it wasn't a breaker. So happy it wasn't a breaker. I'm glad it's going to a family from Cali. But I was like, if it's a family from Cali, because that's what I was telling my wife, like, oh, it's someone from Cali, thank goodness. Maybe they can use that money for good. But if everything that you own was burned, you're not buying a $700.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah. So I was like, at least it wasn't a breaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's one thing you got to put into perspective. You might live in a neighborhood where there was 1,000 homes lost. There's 1 million homes here in California. You know what I mean? It sometimes it could be obscured. You know what I mean? I live here. I could drive I drive 36 miles to my work. I don't see a single burnt house. It's not like all of LA burnt, but I can see how you can imagine it. If 10 blocks burnt, you can see it. It looks like a movie where like the whole city burnt. But yeah, I mean it's tragic, but yeah, it's not like all of LA was lost. But that kid, it's one of those things too, is like when you're that young, are you really that big of a fan of he might be a Dodger fan and not give a damn about the Pirates, more than likely. It's like when that kid pulled that Mac Jones card and he's like, "Oh, Meg Jones is my favorite player," and right away he sells the card. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. They're not really fans of the player. They're fans of the prices.
Bro, the stuff I was chasing was like Jose Canseco's like rated rookie, bro. When I hit that, that's why my cards from my childhood, I still have them, but they're beat to shit. Because I handled them, I put them in albums, I took them out of albums. When top loaders was a thing, man, I took them everywhere. I took them to school, had them stolen from school, got in fights over my baseball cards. Nowadays, it's like, oh, it's my favorite, and then it's their favorite because they're gonna get money. My thing is, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I ever hit a card like that, I mean, it is a lottery ticket. And I talked to my wife. If I ever hit a card at six figures or anything like that, obviously I'm gonna take care of the essentials, family, college, mortgage, whatever. But I told her I get a nice little percentage because, bro, I would rather have a 39 play ball DiMaggio, find me a dope 49 leaf Ted Williams. Like she already knows, yeah, the family be taken care of, but because of me buying baseball cards, daddy's gonna get some baseball cards. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
there's already a stipulation. I'm getting a nice little like 10%. And I'm just going to town at
yeah,
Somerville or National. 100% of those proceeds are not just going to family stuff. I want to have some fun.
yeah. I mean, I when my Dodger bonus, it was like I got 5,000 pretty much cash. It was 10,000, but government, the California takes half. I got 5,000. I $350 went to buy a starter set of for the 71, and then another 350 for my Mickey Mantle. You know what I mean? Spent like $700 on baseball cards, and the rest went to my cyber truck, and the rest went to my family.
Well, bro, I mean, you know what I do. So, like, when we had a hurricane, I worked a lot of overtime. I had like 100 hours overtime. It was crazy times. But my wife is always like, "You look so tired." She's like, "You need to cheer up. I haven't seen you smile in 72 hours." I'm like, "Baby, I'm exhausted." And she's like, "You should buy a card." So to me, overtime money is found money.
Yeah.
So this last hurricane, that's why it sounds terrible. I'm like, "Ooh, I'm working the hurricane. Like I'm I'm not heartbroken." The house I did have roof damage. A couple trees knocked down, a couple $1,000 I had to put into the house to fix again. But after that, wifey's like, "Cheer yourself up." So I bought this.
What's up, Double D?
I bought this with my overtime. I was getting mad because I still want to get it cheap. And I was bidding against somebody, but ended up with this Willie. Silver stickers for the win, baby. Willie Mays.
Oh, see that's one thing I regret is pre-COVID Hall of Fame baseball cards. The shop here by my house in Monrovia, they had a Willie Mays autographed certified bat for like $200,
Oh,
and I didn't have enough at the time. And I was like, hopefully I'll buy that in a couple weeks. And then COVID came and forget about it. that was not going to be the price ever again anymore.
yeah. I actually I was at a flea market and Corey, I hope he's okay, man. I haven't seen him since the flea market because a lot of flea markets, I don't know about you, but a lot of flea markets in my area did not make it. We had three flea markets and they eventually just converged into one. The other two didn't make it. And I haven't been able to find this old cat, Corey, but I loved it. He had a booth, but nothing was organized. It was a rummage every time. It was just straight chaos. And I found a box. And him, I helped because there was always kids in there trying to steal stuff from him. And I went in there with Corey. It's true. He found out he's like, "Louis, I appreciate you helping me." Because he was an older guy. Like, he's like, "Hey, can you reach this box here?" And I was there like every other weekend. So I found a box that said 2011 Topps Finest. I'm like, "Corey, is this?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I don't even remember that box." And bro, he had a Mike Trout autographed rookie card. in the box in a penny sleeve. And he's like, "What should I do with them?" I'm like, "We need to get it graded, bro." This was obviously a week before the pandemic. Schools were already shutting down. They were closed because no one knew what was going on. But the flea markets were still open, so it was like very close to the shutdown. And he had a Mike Trout rookie card, just base, Topps Finest. And he's like, "Well, how much do you think this is?" I'm like, "A buck, honestly, $1.50." He's like, "But you want it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want it." He's like, "Well, I'll give it to you for $110." I'm like, "Done." Because he's like, "If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have known about this card." And I've been wanting. I haven't seen him since. That was the last time I saw my boy. Got that Mike Trout, and I'm hoping he found a place to sell cards. But yeah, it was a bummer, man.
Yeah, see, I had a dealer that was the opposite, where he would always put a nugget, or as some people now call an Easter egg, in the dollar box. A $20 card, a $50 card.
That's cool.
And the first time I went through it, and then I found one, he's like, "Oh, and he told me what he does. So I was like, "Oh, well, I'll come back next week and look for that Easter egg." And I did that for like 6 weeks, and I would always find it. It's like he didn't remember. He was an older man. He's like, "Oh, you found this? Like, oh, I should have said to you." He gave me the same story, like like if I was new and I didn't know. So then after a while, I felt guilty, and I stopped going through that box and taking the good cards for $1.
Yeah, this the boys are talking in the chat about schemes, and that's my thought too. Like schemes could be the next great thing, but we already have that in Kershaw.
Yeah. But not only that, he could be the next Wander Franco. You just don't know what's going to happen.
He could be the next Strasburg. Remember when Strasburg came out and everyone was Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood with the 20 Ks in one game.
Yeah.
These kids are throwing so hard. I know.
Yeah, Jake Arrieta.
Yeah, dude. But that's my thing. Like, to me, I would rather sell that card, be comfortable, because the likelihood is in 5 years, if I really wanted that card back, you could probably get it back. So give me some of the vintage guys. Was beautiful Lou. Hey, Mike Petty's asking if you're coming.
Why you gotta highlight that?
Well, I hit the wrong one because I am beautiful. Look at that. You coming over this weekend, Pep?
Where to? What's this weekend? Where at?
The weed shop. Yeah, take the money and run. The bats from Scoreboard. Oh, Mookie's in the chat.
Yeah, I filled up an Easter basket with that, guys, for a while. Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember getting a bunch of Griffeys, some Mike Trouts from, and after a while I felt bad. I was like, okay, like at first I thought that dude was bull crapping me, and then I figured out, like, okay, he really doesn't even remember me that I found his Easter egg the last weekend or the last week. But he's a good, but those are the things that I don't take for granted. Like I've always said, when I get older, it's one of the things, like same thing I take from my uncles in Mexico. All my uncles in Mexico, they're really well off. All of them are really well off. And right now that they're all older and, coming to their last days, they're spending all their money just in casinos and having the time of their life. But they always said, like, I'm going to make my kids independent and not need my money. And all their kids are fine, and they're spending their money. They're not inheriting my uncle's fortunes. They have their own lives, and that's what I want to do. Is like, I'm not telling my kids, hey, you're not inheriting this. When I get older, I want to make other collectors happy. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I want to do. I want to have a dollar box, and put an Easter egg in there. I want to do the same thing that guy does. I want to return the favor to the hobby.
Joy of finding a card. Like I was just telling you, man, I find that you find that nice $20, $30 card and it's like a treasure hunt, bro. It's the little things like that makes the hobby so much fun, because you can still go out there and find gems. It doesn't always have to be Hall of Fame rookie card or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like these logo patches that are just bananas, dude. It's the Willy Wonka golden ticket. That's what it is, man. But I'm glad that's over because, man, if I that stuff just floods my feed with all the Paul Skeens logos, the logo patches. What's this right here? We discuss the Nationals, smoke your pot, and drink my beer. Look at some cards.
Yeah, well, you want me to go to your house, Petty? Where do you live? I'll go to your pad.
You got Mike's number. I'll give it to you. It sounds
No,
like
I don't have his number.
I'll after the chat. I'll give it to you if you're cool with that, Mike.
But I don't drink. All right.
I don't. He doesn't drink on days that end.
Yeah, and I don't smoke pot either.
Oh man, Double D might come to that party. 45 minutes, he said.
But yeah, Petty said he'd pay my airfare, and I'm sure I could find an Airbnb to stay with. And man, I can make that happen. I can make that happen at the National. I want to go to the National. I love Chicago National. It's the only one I've been to. But man, I super love the National. I'm always like one of the first people there in line.
Petty seems like a good dude.
Well, I'm not working today, so like when I don't work, I got a day drink so I could be sober by the time my wife gets home.
Yeah. Hey, not just a hat rack, my friend. Not just a hat rack. That's thinking. That's how you do it, bro.
But I am thinking of going to Frank and Sons later today because one thing I do want to do is I need to make a lot of room in my garage. Mm-hmm. And man, dude, I have like 200 bobbleheads, and I'm not a bobblehead collector. They're just taking up too much room. So I'm gonna look to see if I can sell my whole bobblehead. I don't know what you want to call it, collection, hoard. Mm-hmm. I want to get rid of most of them. Maybe only keep like 20.
If you got Hall of Famers, bro, talk to Jake because Jake collects the Hall of Fame bobbleheads.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? He had actually text me, and I got to go through them and put those aside for him.
Yeah, he'll pay you.
I only want to keep a few. There's a few that I want to keep only, but the rest I can let go.
Anything Showtime you need to keep. Those things are bananas, dude.
Yeah, there's one that I want to keep is because the Angels and the Dodgers used to share a spring facility in Rancho Cucamonga. So I have a bobblehead where it's Clayton Kershaw versus Mike Trout, in the minor league uniforms. That's like one I want to keep that I've always loved. It's every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday now. Double D. There you go.
Bro, Buckner, baby. Look at that cut. Found that in the value box.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, it's not focusing.
Like this cat, Julio Rodriguez. Wasn't he supposed to be the shitnits?
Bro, that's what I'm talking about, though, man. These cats, man. Like Julio Rodriguez. Who's another one? Like everyone's on the Jackson Holiday. All the Jackson Churio. But like they have a sophomore slump. People forget about them. It's just get it if you like it, but I'm not spending big money on these rookies, dude.
Well, even like Zion Williams, he was supposed to be the best. Who thought donuts would take him down?
Oh, Rick just invited himself to the petty party.
Oh, let's go. Come on down.
5-hour drive is like 20 miles, right? I remember Mikey was telling me, he's like, bro, I'm in traffic for like 2.5 hours. I'm like, God dang, how far is your work? He's like, 20 minutes. I'm like, God. You hear the legendary traffic over there, but like bad traffic for me, maybe an hour. Like on a good day, Disney is 90 minutes away on a good day. Heavy traffic will be 2.5 hours. But I mean, it's a considerable distance away. It's not 20 miles away, bro. I'll just get an e-bike or a skateboard, bro. 20 miles and you're in traffic for 3 hours? No thanks.
Yeah, dude. Okay, like to me, USC and Dodger Stadium are like 5 miles away. If I try to leave USC like during peak traffic to Dodger Stadium, 5 miles away, it's a 45-minute drive. You're stop and go traffic the whole way, man. It's insane. It's Captain Insano.
UNC Fester. Is there any RPA worth 250K from the last 10 to 15 years now? Are those debut patches really expected to command that kind of money? I don't know. It's a new thing.
I don't think so, because there's going to be so many.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing with, like, say, even with PSA 10s, or one of the examples that I always talk about when I first started, why I did this. Okay, yeah, I mean, you guys, anybody who followed me knows my story about this, but this guy right here. All right, this Nolan Arenado 1.
Heck yeah, pinhole, baby.
And I just put a pinhole. I did this approval point to some guy who was a Kobe Bryant collector, and this was so long ago.
What numbers you missing? I need doing
like 3 and 4. I believe 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, which are like impossible, like to find. But he had a Kobe Bryant Topps Chrome rookie in a 1, and some guy offered him like 10K for it because it was a pop 1.
Yes.
And he said, like, there will never ever be another pop 1 of this. It was graded a 1. It was graded a 1. I said, and I put in the comment, and it's easy to make a grade 1. He said, no, it's not. And he gave me all these reasons. PSA will know you did it on purpose. If you crumble it up, they won't give you a 1. They'll give you an authentic because they know you did it to get up. And so I asked people, I was like, hey, what's the best way to get a grade of a 1? Pinhole. I mean, and this card looks like it would have graded a 10. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for that pinhole, it's like in perfect shape. Put a pinhole in it, and I won a contest. Man, what was his name? I think he's a YouTube Hall of Fame, just like you were saying. He made the Hall of Fame. Stop making videos. Yeah. But he had a contest, and I think Snoop won it. And Snoop said, hey, give it to Pepino. So I sent in that card with the pinhole, and it got a 1. And then a couple years later, that Kobe Bryant card, there was like 10 graded 1s. So all of a sudden, it wasn't a pop 1 no more. And he lost out on 10K, 20K that he could have got. You know what I mean? Because he didn't think there would ever be another 1. But that was back in the days, 2020, 21, where like, ooh, it's a pop 1. It's rare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these new collectors, their concept of rarity is so misconstrued. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, pop 1, pop this. Like, to me, for instance, one of my pet peeves, what grinds my gears is when you have a 1 of 1 and people are complaining, this got PSA 8, it's only a 9. I'm like, bro, it's a 1 of 1. Like, why even send it in? The value is in the rarity. You got the only one in the world. Who cares if it's a PSA 10?
Yeah.
Who cares if it's a 9? If it's the
and everybody knows you can crack it and it's gonna get another grade.
Yeah, bro. Like, everyone was freaking out over the Wemby because they cleaned it up. I'm like, isn't the rarity because it's a 1 of 1? You guys are complaining because he cleaned it to get a 10. It's the same. It's one card. There's one. If you want that card, that's the only one that's going to be there. That PSA 10 1 of 1. Who cares? The same thing if it's a 9. It's the only one. These cats in the chat, man. Yo, man, it's gonna be a dope party at Petty's house. I kind of jelly. I want to go.
Yeah, what's up with that? We need to get together, all you California guys. Yeah, so you saw that picture I put up? Remember, I told you how Aaron Davis came to my house and psyched on baseball cards. Nate Tops. Everybody came to my house, man. That's one thing. I had my sofa in my room. I still have the sofa in my room that when we bought this house, my wife bought this sofa for the living room. And then once we moved in, she bought a different sofa. So she made me put this sofa in my room. And it takes up so much space in my card room. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my daughter was like, actually telling me, it's a 2-piece. She's like, you need to get rid of one of those old pieces and get yourself a shelf so you can put more stuff on the wall instead of all over the floor and all over everywhere else.
Bro, it's crazy because I know you're an animal lover, but when you show me stuff like that your cat broke, like things like bobbleheads or like we have a new puppy and she climbs the stairs now. She learned how to climb the stairs. Man, luckily I was trading out because I just came from my little honey hole and I had a whole bunch of the yellow top loaders on the floor, so that distracted her. My wife because I was at work. My wife had a heart attack. She was freaking out. She's like, babe, I got something to tell you. Casey went upstairs to the man cave and started chewing. I'm like, what are you talking about? I go running. She's like, these yellow plastic. I'm like, oh, thank God. I distracted her. But bro, that's a scary thing. You got more. I mean, the thing is, like, I got my stuff put away, but she's a puppy, so she's like chewing on the desk legs and she'll chew. Like, I got my boxes on the floor. They're stacked up, but like, I don't know how you do it, dude. I'll be having
No, like, I have that sheet. I have that baseball card sheet of 1989 Upper Deck with Ken Griffey on it. And it wasn't pretty well, perfectly flat, great shape. And I put it in the kitchen to store it until I could hang it on my wall and on top of a cabinet. And it's way on the top, like by the ceiling. And sure enough, my cats, the stray cats that we rescued, they all got on top of it. And now that thing is shaped like a taco bowl. Like, they just ruined that perfectly good shape 1989 up. It's like, oh, well, it's not like I was never going to sell it, but like, But now that's the story. Whenever anybody comes and looks at it, why is it all out of shape? Oh, the cats sat on it and slept on it.
I mean, you gotta get creative with storage, but you had me rolling. This is an old video. You have like a spice rack in your kitchen where you
do
you remember that? You showed it one time. I'm like, man, it fits perfect. It was a spice rack. And you just started putting slabs. All I could think of was like, my wife would be so pissed. Like, she doesn't care where I have my cards, but if I have cards in the kitchen,
that's one of those things too. Is like, how many it's just people that don't understand is like, okay, it's a spice rack, yes, and it's right next to the stove. It's literally right next to the stove, and everybody said like, oh, all the slabs are gonna melt. They're right next. It's like, it's a spice rack. Are all those spices melted? They're all plastic. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. Just because it's next to the stove doesn't mean it's gonna, fry and melt.
Oh yeah, the ghetto safe. That was a good one. His Pelican case is good too. Yeah, Pepino's an innovator. He's from the future. He's John Connor, Mexican style. The guy's ideas are just second to none.
Man, I got a dance video. I want to make a dance video that I've been wanting to make, man, but my asthma's acting up. I don't think I could dance for 3 minutes right now. But as soon as I can breathe again perfectly, I promise you guys, I'm gonna make this great dance music video to a baseball card music video that I love.
You gotta give us a preview, bro. You got a little boogaloo, little electric shuffle? What you got?
Oh man, I got it all, man. Sprinkler. I got it all, man. The Cabbage Patch. Oh man, come on.
The lawnmower. Oh well. You got any cards you want to show? I mean, we've been going about 90 minutes. My kids are coming home. We'll have to pick up Bob soon.
Let's see. I got the guy who opened up the first Sizzler, George Sizzler.
Oh, dang, I got a whole bunch of Ichiros in here. I got to move these Ichiros into my Hall of Fame box.
I got my dad when he was a wrestler, Cesario.
Cesario from Body. Bro, I remember, so many of these like 90s and 80s baseball cards had errors, but you thought when you were a kid, every error was like $1 million. You remember chasing this card, bro? The rated rookie reverse negative.
Oh yeah, I never had the reverse negative.
I might have another one. I'll check. I might have another one. If I have, I'll send it to you, bro. I gotta check though. But I always look in the value boxes because some people don't know. and on top of his 90 dongers. Like, who cares? But I'm like, it's a 2-time MVP, baby. What you looking for?
Let's see what I got right here in this pile.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to pick up baby.
I do have a Magic Johnson autograph.
Ooh.
Dwight Gooden autograph. And then one of my favorite cards is Connor biting. Like he told him, I have a chip on my shoulder. Oh, I love chips. And Paul Skeens. Okay, I don't know if you remember, if you heard me tell this story, but one of the days when Paul Skeens was pitching against the Dodgers and I'm in the bullpen, and I just stood there in the bullpen watching. I wanted to see him, warm up for the game. And he and it was awesome. You guys don't know how awesome it is to like literally be like 5 feet away from the pitcher as he's throwing. I'm so lucky I had the opportunity to do that. And so he's warming up, and he's just throwing gas, man, and just hearing that catcher's mitt, so close, like, wah! And so then he tells one of the guys there to stand in. That's what they always do. They stand in just as a batter, but they don't have a batter or anything, but they're just standing in. And dude, he like threw a fastball, nailed him right in the thigh. Just nailed him in the thigh. And then the whole crowd at Dodger Stadium that was watching around the bullpen, quiere llorar, puto, quiere llorar el puto, más puto, va a llorar. And the guy who's batting is just like trying to act like it didn't hurt, but you can see it in his face that it hurt, dude.
Yeah, you got some G's up in that crowd, and they're drunk too. You don't want to get into too many drunk fans from Cali, bro.
Yeah, and this is like pregame, and they're already drunk.
I love that's. There's not too much tailgating for baseball, but I love.
Yeah, you can tailgate at Anaheim at Angels. You can't tailgate at Dodgers though.
Yeah, you can't do it up in New York. Like, I mean, down here, the Rays they're so accommodating because they just want fans. Bro, you can go in there. If you carpool into the parking, it's like half price. Like anything where they could bring more people. Like if you bring your family of 4, half price on parking.
Damn.
They let you bring bottled waters for like the kids. Like they do everything, and they let you tailgate like 4 hours before the game.
Well, see, that's one of the things with me is I'm rebuilding my bike. I have an old BMX bike, and I'm rebuilding it because there's so many. Anytime there's a sold out game at Dodger Stadium, we have to park outside. Like we can't park inside the stadium. So I'm working on my bike. So on the sold out games, I can take my bike, park outside, and ride it into the stadium.
Yo, you got a lowrider, bro? You got like a lowrider bike?
Nah, those don't get good gas mileage, man. They're hard to pedal. Because Dodger Stadium is up on a hill, and we got to park at the bottom. So you got to go up the hill. Those are not fun. I had a lowrider bike before, man. They're cool, but yeah, they're basically on beach cruisers. They're beach cruiser frames, so like the gear ratio is not good at all, and they're heavy.
It's really just for cruising, bro. Like
yeah, like taking off is hard. Once you got speed, you're cool, But yeah, they're not a good gear ratio.
So how's your bike project going on right now? Didn't you start doing like
yeah, I already put the seat on. I changed the chain. I got everything, but my brakes weren't the right brakes. So I haven't also put my the handlebar on grips on it because you got to put the brakes on first and then the grips. Yeah. But I got to get another a different type of brake. But yeah, I can ride it. I can ride it right now and everything. But I got to put the brakes on. I got to get the different types of brakes and put the grips on.
Yeah, I don't know if Dodger Stadium does it, but I know here in Tampa, well, I mean, when we had a stadium, on Sundays, they consider that like family day. And after the game, they let the kids run the bases. And go
yeah, they do that at Dodgers.
It's a good time. get the little ice cream helmet. I mean, my kids, I just like my kids at the game. That's why they know when they go to the game, it's like, whatever. As long as you're happy and you let daddy watch baseball without interruption, I'm like, the cotton candy guys coming, ice cream in a helmet, buying packs of cards. Like, let's just enjoy.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta ask my dad about this because I've been visiting my dad more than lately before, and I haven't asked him about this. But when we were young, we went to an Angels game, and we were like way at the top, and then they hit a foul ball, and it went all the way up to the top, and my dad dove for the ball, and this was like a day game, and the seats were all empty. We're like one of the people at the top, and when he dove for it, it's so steep. He just like surfed like on his body, like all the way down, dude, like all the way down. And then like some other guy got the ball, and then I remember people were like yelling, "Give him the ball!" Like because my dad didn't get it, but that guy never gave my dad the ball. But that's one of my greatest memories of my dad, is watching him like pretty much on his belly slide all the way down on top of the seats.
Oh man! And then the walk of shame back, like
all the way walking back up in pain, acting like it didn't hurt.
Stop laughing at me. Go get me a beer. That's what my dad would have said. Stop laughing. I was close, mijo. I was close. Oh man, what is going on? My cat destroyed all. Yeah, cats, man. Cats just don't care, dude. They do whatever the hell they want to do. But yeah, man, I wanted to show. I ain't gonna show baseball. I mean, I ain't gonna show basketball. But like, I was going through a whole bunch of my non-Hall of Famers. Someone told me Bo Jackson's getting there. I'm like, heck no, he ain't getting in. He was just a all-world athlete, and he's
he was destined to be one of the best. And crazy how something that didn't even look bad ended his career.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a shame, dude. He was so.
I love that boat breaker.
Yeah, I like this. I can't say I like it as much as his most famous one with the bat on his.
Yeah,
I love this card, dude. Such a good card. But bro, I remember this is obviously a better one. It's not my childhood one, because my childhood one, like I was telling you before, has creases and paper laws, because I loved it. But I remember, this is why I started collecting Gary Sheffield, because I got this card. I had no idea who he was, but I saw future stars. I'm like, he must be good. Like, I remember when I was a little kid, I was like, oh my gosh, and he has like braces. I was like, he's like a kid.
My favorite future stars cards like that was Greg Jeffries. At that time, oh my God, I just, the Phenom. He was called the Phenom. Like, this guy is guaranteed to be the greatest baseball player ever, better than Mickey Mantle. And I believed it.
Dude, I don't know what I did with it. I was going through my cards, and I put out my Kevin Moss, my Brian Taylor, my Craig Jeffries. I'm like, all these busts. Oh, that's a stud right there. It's not centered though. No. Oh, that 54. You know what, bro? Honestly, I think the 54 Jackie is my favorite. Like,
it's sweet, right?
I love the 54 Jackie. 54 tops in general.
You're like, man, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I love this card, and these are all cards that I bought like way. I'm talking about like 2008. Like, there's no way I could afford them right now. You know, these cards back then were worth, to me, they were expensive, and they were like a sacrifice to buy. But now I couldn't even make that sacrifice to buy them anymore.
Honestly, bro, like when I was younger, buying vintage was Clemente. That was the only guy I really focused on, because there wasn't movement like there is now. If a Clemente card was $200 and whatever,
it was gonna stay around 200 for a long time.
Next year it was still gonna be $200. You know?
Yeah.
And the year after that, maybe like you seem to see movement like every 3 to 5 years. Like, oh,
yeah,
to 225 to 250, 250 to 275. Like, you knew, like Hank Aaron's rookie card was like $500 for the longest time. You know?
Yeah. Like, dude, even not that long ago, it's like I pulled 2 I've pulled 2 Aaron Judge redemption autographs, and I gave them both away. And they weren't like crazy valuable back then. And now I want one, and I was like, I don't think I want to pay that price, but I want one.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't know how to catch a ball.
Relax, bro. Relax.
I heard he dropped the MVP trophy too when he got it.
Bro, all my friends, it was so depressing. Like the amount of texts that I got after game 5, I think I had like 200 plus, 250 missed text messages. I just ignored my phone. And then at New Year's, because I was working New Year's, I was getting so many text messages. They're like, well, if you start this play at 11:23, Judge drops the ball right at midnight. I was so mad.
My phone is gonna die pretty soon, so when I go, I'm going, and my phone's gonna die. But I was watching. I was watching the World Series games like at my dad's house, and my wife would go with me. And dude, my wife hates when I start taking shots. And I'm with my sister, my family, her friends, my friends, and we're over there taking shots and celebrating. The Dodgers are winning every game. And then my wife said, like, okay, we're gonna get whatever the hell it was so we could watch the Dodgers at home. She wanted me to stay home. Yeah. And we were watching that game, and she was, making food, like good food, like to make me have a good time. But I'm by myself watching the World Series. Like, I'd rather be at my dad's house with, everybody outside. And then they're like, we're losing 5-0. This sucks.
I was feeling good too, bro. I was gonna send some text messages. Yeah, because I was texting like James and got like collectibles, bro. That text thread got dark real quick. Like, what is Boone doing? What's going on? Why is no one on first?
Yeah, that was funny because when I was watching that, I was remembering the live that me and you had, and you were telling me like, oh, Garrett, we're going down. Sorry. Looks like I'm out of here. My phone's died.
Homie, it was fun. Go Yankees. That's like the most Pepino way to end the live stream. Well, this was a lazy afternoon. He hit me up. He's like, no, I'm just chilling at the house. I'm bored. I'm like, you want to do a live stream, little afternoon sesh? She's like, yeah, send it. And that's what we did. This is what we do. James, Double D. It could have been anybody. This is how we do it. It's just like having a conversation on the phone. That's all this was. Sometimes I forget people are in the chat. It's just like a FaceTime. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the little afternoon baseball talk. And with that, peace out. Go Yankees.